This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, John Van Camp, sitting in for the insane Daryl Wayne, he and I are going to talk about a number of things that I think touch each and every one of our lives. First part of our show, we're going to talk about gender and find out more about that, and that'll be from Eli Cohen, the founder of Spacious Human. We'll find out what that's all about. And during the second part of our show, we're going to talk about functional mushrooms and, to a certain extent, I guess, get into CBD and maybe even a little bit of pot with our second guest, Del Jolly. I had to book him because of the name. Anyway, we are going to go to Brooklyn, New York, where my father grew up, and speak with Eli Cohen. Eli, welcome to Late Night Health.
So great to be here, Mark.
So you had a light bulb that went off in your 50s. You're still in your 50s. So what was that light bulb? What was that?
The light bulb moment was actually seeing my calf hairless for the first time. And there's a whole story around that that you can see on my website, but it's a really long story. So I don't think I can get to it all here. But there was like another story that's wrapped up.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Ahead. Yeah,
there's a very ugly cat, to me ugly, that's a hairless cat. We're not talking about that. You had to shave your cat for some reason?
I didn't have to. So it was actually I was heading out to Burning Man, and I was not a costume person, and I actually had a friend who helped me put some things together just to buy some fabrics. And one time when we wrapped this blue fabric around myself, the fabric fell in such a way that there was like a long slit from my calf all the way, from my hip all the way down to my toes. And when I saw that, I said, listen, Eli, you're probably never going back to Burning Man, which turned out not to be true. But why don't you go all in and remove the hair? And so my wife of 27 years and an epic act of love went into the bathroom with me and showed me how to nair myself 2 days before Burning Man. And once I saw my calf, I could not believe that it was my calf. And I just kept staring at it like, this body part belongs to you, Eli? I just can't believe it. This looks like a woman's leg to me, in the way I've always conceived of it. And it really it started me thinking a lot about how hard we work to create these illusions and separations around gender.
Are men do men in clothing? Now we're not talking sexuality necessarily, but do men, the bulk of men, dress in a certain way? Okay.
Right.
I was just in San Francisco, and you see everything there. Okay. It's a gay-friendly community, and it's great to see different things. Okay. I was dressed because I was told it was going to be cold. I wore long pants for the first time in 3 weeks, and I couldn't wait to put on a pair of shorts where I'd show you my white legs, but I'll blind you. Do men tend to be more conservative in dress, do you think, than women?
Absolutely. I think that an easy way to think about it is just to go into any department store and look at the men's department and then walk through the women's department. And it's probably a great exercise for men to do, and try and see it with fresh eyes and look at the color schemes, look at the fabrics, look at the variety of and selection, look at the size of the departments. And so if you look at it like we're kind of used to it now, at least I am after so many years of shopping. But if you look at it with fresh eyes, you'll notice a stark difference between the two departments.
So the other day, I was in San Francisco, and yesterday I came back, and I actually was frisked because I was wearing a pair of jeans, and I always buy 501 jeans. I've been wearing 501 jeans or 505 jeans for, since I was a kid. And apparently these were a little bit bulky in my groin area. And they showed me on this thing, right, this scan,
Right.
I had this big X on my groin. And so I got frisked. If I was wearing, I wanted to ask, but I was afraid, if I was wearing something tighter, would they have stopped me?
So that's a really interesting story, because I also have been through airports and with some very form-fitting clothing, leggings. And when I went through the same scanner, the security says, well, I can see everything I need to see. We don't have to frisk you. So I guess it could go, it depends on the person screening you, but, with form-fitting clothes,
right,
like I was wearing, they did not feel the need to stop me.
But in that case, they could kind of see what you got on the scan. I mean,
right. They can see the shape of your body. And it's one of the things that's I find really interesting about the difference between the way men and women typically dress is the fact that women tend or have the ability or possibility or feel the comfort level of wearing more form-fitting clothes than most men will feel comfortable doing. So, for instance, leggings, which has become my favorite clothing item, especially during the pandemic, it's super comfortable, but it can show the shape of your body. And men are not really used to that role of being in that.
You use the operative word, roll. I have rolls of belly fat. I shouldn't, but I do. And that legging would have to really be super tight to make me feel comfortable to be outside. I don't even think I'd wear it in front of myself. And maybe we could talk about that self-image of clothing. I mean, when I'm on camera, for example, I wear bright colors. A lot of hosts wear, dark blues and maybe light blues. I'll wear big colors, big turquoise or pink. I love to wear pink. And I have no problem with that. Do most men kind of stay with white dress shirts, do you think?
You will definitely see much less pink and fewer brighter colors on men as you walk around the streets, at least the streets of Brooklyn and New York. But really, most places that I go to, I would say that's a pretty fair bet. But as far as the body image piece, I think that there are a lot of men that are carrying an enormous amount of shame around their bodies also. And I would say if you saw a woman, you see women of all shapes wearing leggings, why can't men do the same thing?
We're going to come back in a few moments. We're going to find out about that. I mean, women in leggings and seeing young women and women in shape is great. But there are some women and some men who I think dress inappropriately, and we'll find out more. Our guest is Eli Cohen. He's the founder of Spacious Human. He is a speaker, facilitator, and mentor, helping men in particular, I think, get in touch with their bodies. All right, we'll have more about Eli on our website at latenighthealth.com. We're going to turn the show back over to John as Late Night Health continues. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Role models. They can make all the difference. In our world today, they have never been more important. One of the nation's most successful mentoring organizations is Jewish Big Brothers Big Sisters of Los Angeles. Their mission is to assist youth in achieving their full potential through innovative and impactful programs. And no nonprofit agency does it better. Jewish Big Brothers Big Sisters of LA serves Jewish children, boys and girls, in our local community with a mentoring program that's been going strong since 1915. That's only the beginning. This nationally known agency owns and operates Camp Bob Waldorf. Its summer camping and weekend retreat programs enrich the lives of youth throughout Greater Los Angeles. Then there's a college support program, and last but not least, work that helps kids all over the world through the Teen Talk app. Want to learn more? Go to jbbbsla.org. Donate. Get involved. There's no better way to make a difference.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audio book. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, DARRELLWAYNE.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with John Bandcamp, sitting in for Daryl Wayne. Our guest is Eli Cohen. He is the founder of Spacious Human. He is a speaker, facilitator, mentor, and he guides humans on a personal journey to feel good about their bodies? Would that be an accurate statement, Eli?
That is an accurate statement, and it goes a little bit beyond that. I find that we all carry these hidden beliefs and emotions that are relating to masculinity and femininity and gender. And so we like to create opportunities to uncover those feelings, and then see what emerges, which is usually a lot of freedom on the other side of fear, is what we generally tend to find.
Oh, that's interesting. So on the other side of fear is freedom. I like that. You should copyright that or trademark it or something. Yeah, I should point out, you've been married for 27 years?
It's 34 years now, and I just became a grandpa, and I have 3 grown children. So
isn't being a grandpa, isn't that the best? To hell with the kids.
I love my kids too, but being a grandpa is kind of special. I'm having a hard time even getting used to saying that I'm a grandpa. It still hasn't sunk in 3 months on, and it still feels funny to say it. But here I am, lucky to be a grandpa.
Well, congratulations on that. You'll really enjoy it. And the first time they say grandpa,
oh, I'm going to melt.
Your heart will melt. You will not remember any names of your children. I promise you this. I promise you this. Before we went to our break, we talked about leggings for women, leggings for guys. So we have, and we talked about it, I'm a little self-conscious about my body. I've put on, as my wife and I were talking, she said, when I was pregnant with our kids, she said, you always said we were pregnant. And she said, you had nothing to do with my pregnancy. I said, well, I had something to do with it. And then the other thing she said, and I've lost all that pregnancy weight. I, on the other hand, have not. Okay. And my kids are adult kids. My question to you is, maybe I should dance off the weight and be in shape like you do, but should I feel ashamed because I have a bigger middle? And extrapolating that, you see women who are rotund, you see men doing the same thing. Belly shirts right now are very popular with women of all ages, but don't they realize that it's not attractive? Or am I being stupid some way?
Well, I couldn't tell you what you might consider attractive or not attractive. I suppose everybody's got their own tastes. And I wouldn't say that if you're uncomfortable wearing leggings that you ought to do it anyway. But I think that the practice of at least trying them on and seeing what comes up for you and seeing if they're comfortable. Like maybe you decide you only want to wear them around the house, because they really are very comfortable. I will say that I feel like for, most of my life, I didn't wear leggings, and I wish that I was onto that scheme much earlier because they are just amazingly comfortable.
I just bought a pair of workout shorts that are made of the same material as leggings, so they're clingy, and I find them very comfortable. The only thing I don't like the drawstring. I don't know why, but I don't like the drawstring. I bought one in black and one in a bright blue. When I go to the gym today, and I am going to go to the gym, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and wear the bright blue ones. Beautiful. And I will think of
I would just say one other thing. I kind of joke about cycling apparel. I used to do cycling a few years back. I was kind of into cycling. And my joke would be that if it weren't for the spandex I think like half the men that cycle would not be cycling. Like, this is the opportunity that men have to put spandex on and not feel out of place. So my hope is that we could just expand that. There seems to be a desire to wear those kinds of clothing. But if we could expand that to beyond cycling, where men can feel more comfortable in other scenarios, they might be, more comfortable with their bodies, and I think that's all to the good.
Would you say that being comfortable with what you wear is a health issue? I mean, it's a mental health issue to me.
I would agree, and I think that our bodies are how we interact with the world, and how we feel the world, and how we experience our own emotions, and how we wrap our bodies, what we adorn it in, really has an impact. So when we limit ourselves, when we feel shame around our bodies, it carries on to negative, I believe, negative health issues, mental health issues. So the more we can expand our comfort level and be in touch with how we feel in our clothing, because it's ever present. We're out there every minute, or most of us are, wearing clothing. And
Yes.
that impacts us. So, I think that it really is quite important.
But what about wearing clothing that's appropriate for one's body type? So I don't feel comfortable in a tank top or a belly shirt, because to me a belly shirt should cover the belly and hide it in my case. But you see people, I don't know if it's a norm or what, and I hate to use the word normal. If somebody is comfortable wearing something that may or may not be appropriate for them, is that okay?
Well, I think that it's great when people can self-express, express how they feel and who they are, and it may not appeal to everybody, but the people that they want to connect to, they'll find their people. So a belly shirt may not work on a certain body type for your tastes, but for somebody that they would probably like to connect to, they will very likely find that attractive or compelling. And so I feel like if you choose your dress in an authentic way, you will attract the people around you that are right for you.
I think that's good, and you've taught me, because I shouldn't be so critical. It's just, guys look at other people sexually, which, and it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, we're wired that way. And wow, we're out of time, but Eli, will you come back sometime? And
I would love to. Love to. I had a great time.
I appreciate that a lot. If somebody's interested in learning more about Spacious Human, is there a way of finding you? Do you have a website?
Absolutely. You can go to spacioushuman.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at Spacious Human.
Spacioushhuman.com. All right, we'll have Eli back. We'll talk about more of this and find out. Maybe he can give me some tips so that I won't be. He'll either give me tips on how I can appreciate my own belly, or he'll give me some tips on how to get rid of my own belly. Either one of those two things. Eli, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Hold on. I'm Mark Allen, along with John Van Camp, sitting in for Daryl Wayne, who I understand may return next week. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't go away. More coming up as Late Night Health continues.